Welcome to Cozy Classics. I'm comfortably in bed, eager to explore memorable characters and powerful stories from classic literature with you. Tonight, we're setting sail into Treasure Island, written in 1883 by Robert Louis Stevenson, a tale bursting with pirate schemes, buried treasure, and the grit of a young hero named Jim Hawkins. Come aboard, sink into a comfy spot, and let's lose ourselves in the rolling waves and shadowed coves of his world together. It's all about to unfold. Let's step into a rugged English seaside village clinging to the coast in the mid-1700s. The cobblestone streets twist like old roots, worn smooth by the shuffle of boots and the rumble of cartwheels, lined with squat cottages whose thatched roofs sag under years of sea salt and wind. The air bites with the sharp scent of fish drying on wooden racks, blended with the smoky tang of tar as shipwrights caulk hulls down by the docks. Seagulls slice through the mist rolling off the gray, churning ocean, their cries sharp and wild, while the tavern at the lane's end pulses with the clink of pewter mugs and the deep, raspy laughter of sailors spinning yarns of storms and gold. The village buzzes with life, fishermen with sunburned faces mending nets by the water's edge, merchants in wool coats haggling over barrels of ale, and barefoot children darting through the alleys, their shouts echoing off the stone walls. Beyond the houses, the fields stretch in muted greens, dotted with grazing sheep and hemmed by hedgerows heavy with blackberries, while the horizon looms wide and restless, each wave against the cliffs whispering of far-off lands. This is the world of the Admiral Benbow Inn, a creaky, low-beamed place where Jim Hawkins, a lanky boy with bright, curious eyes and a steady heart, helps his widowed mother serve ale and keep the peace. One dreary afternoon, the door swings open, and in staggers Billy Bones, an old sea dog with a face like cracked leather and a coat crusted with salt. His sea chest thumps against the floor as he growls, "Landlord, I'll stay here and take my rum where I please," tossing a gold piece onto the counter with a clink. He fills the inn with shanties that shake the rafters, 15 men on the dead man's chest, yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum, and scares off locals with his wild temper, a cutlass gleaming at his hip. Jim watches him closely, noting the fear in his eyes. One night, a blind pirate, Pew, taps in with his stick, his voice a chilling rasp. "Here's the black spot for Billy Bones." It's a death mark, a circle of paper with a black dot, and Bones clutches his chest, collapsing dead from shock and too much rum. Jim and his mom, trembling, break open the chest, finding a map drawn in faded ink, an X marking treasure on a distant island, signed by the notorious Captain Flint. The air grows thick as they flee, pursued by Pew's gang, the map a spark igniting Jim's fate. Jim takes the map to Dr. Livesey, a lean man with a calm voice and a medical bag always at hand, and Squire Trelawney, a portly gent who claps his hands and declares, "We'll fit out a ship and find that treasure." They charter the Hispaniola, a sturdy schooner with tarred decks that creak underfoot and sails that snap like cannon fire. Captain Smollett, a weathered sailor with a stern jaw, takes command, muttering, "I don't like this cruise," wary of the crew Trelawney's hired. Among them is Long John Silver, the cook, a burly man with a peg leg, a green parrot named Captain Flint squawking on his shoulder, and a grin that feels too smooth. "I'm honest as the day is long," he tells Jim with a hearty laugh, slipping him a piece of candy, but Jim overhears him in the hold. "Flint's treasure, Jim. When we get aboard, we'll spike the ship. Down with the honest hands." The mutiny plot unfurls, and Jim's torn, Silver's charm clashing with the danger he senses. The Hispaniola anchors off Treasure Island, a wild expanse of jungle thick with twisted vines, sandy beaches glinting under a merciless sun, and the distant roar of breakers crashing against jagged rocks. Parrots shriek from the canopy, and the air hums with the buzz of insects and the damp rot of earth. The mutiny explodes. Silver's men draw cutlasses, shouting, "Down with the honest hands," as muskets crack and men fall. Jim flees to the stockade, a rough-hewn fort with loopholes for guns, joining Smollett, Livesey, and Trelawney. They fend off attacks, the air thick with gunpowder, but the pirates seize the ship. Jim, restless, sneaks out, climbs aboard, and cuts the cable with a knife, muttering to himself, "I've done something," as the Hispaniola drifts, stranding the mutineers. In the jungle, Jim meets Ben Gunn, a scruffy castaway with a matted beard and hollow cheeks, who rasps, "I've a notion of that treasure, and I've lived on goat since the day they marooned me." Gunn leads Jim to a hollow tree where the treasure lies buried, chests of coins, gold bars, and jewels that catch the light like fire. The pirates close in, and a fierce fight ensues. Silver's men stumble into Flint's booby traps, their screams echoing, while Jim and the Loyalists hold their ground. Silver pleads, "I'm your man, Jim, I am," switching sides as the tide turns. They load the treasure, hundreds of guineas and doubloons spilling from the chests, onto the ship, but not without loss. Tom Redruth, a loyal gamekeeper, dies from a wound, his last words a quiet, "Goodbye, lads." They sail home, Silver escaping in a boat with a bag of gold, his laugh fading over the waves. Back at the Admiral Benbow, the village feels hushed. Jim's richer, but carries the weight of those lost, the treasure a bittersweet haul. The inn stands firm, its sign creaking in the breeze, and Jim gazes at the sea, a boy molded by the island's secrets. So, why does Treasure Island still hook us? It's about guts and gut instincts. Stevenson picked the title to tease the island's pull. The gold, sure, but also the lessons Jim uncovers. It's like spotting a fake vibe in a group chat or taking a leap when no one else will. Jim's shift from inn boy to pirate survivor feels like chasing a gut feeling, while Silver's double dealing teaches us to read people close. It's like cranking up an epic playlist after a long day, full of heart with a story that sticks. Whether you're unwinding here or grabbing a break, let this tale roll with you like an ocean current. That was Treasure Island, brought to life in every wave right here in the cabin. I hope it felt like you sailed with Jim from the inn to the treasure. No chart needed. Loved it? Drop a comment with your favorite pirate moment or the next tale you'd like. Maybe Dracula or Alice in Wonderland. I'll be back soon with another story. Until then, keep this adventure close. Good night.